Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV on what I believe is a Thursday. Yeah, either way, it is the morning after Liverpool confirmed the signing of Cody Gakpo from PSV Eindhoven, bringing to an end one of the most protracted transfer sagas in the history of football. Yeah, we went from 9:30 p.m. on Monday, and now it's Thursday, and we're thirsty for more. Yes, so the deal, it is confirmed via The Athletic, will cost Liverpool £37 million, potentially rising to £44 million in add-ons, with his 5.5-year contract running until the summer of 2028. That's The Athletic via Anfield Watch. So now we know that for sure. We'd obviously had a strong inkling that was the case for a little while. But we're going to get through a couple of the bits and pieces and the facts and whatever, and some of the interview lines and interesting things now that we know that Gakpo is officially a Red. I want to know reactions from you guys at home, whether you're watching this live right now, and you can use the live show chat here on YouTube, or after the fact, please feel free to tweet us at the Redmen TV or just use the comments box on YouTube. But yeah, how are you feeling when you saw those photos? So earlier on in the day, or in the evening, there was starting to be a couple of sort of sneaky teaser images that were purportedly from a mate of Gakpo's or whatever, and then obviously that kind of led us all to believe it was going to happen sooner rather than later. And then what I particularly liked, I like the use of the Christmas tree, so we can see, Cody Gakpo not only revealed that he was going to be wearing the number 18 shirt, but they did it in front of the Christmas tree. They had the little announcement video where he was texting. Was he texting? Was he actually sending text messages, or was he WhatsApping? Can someone confirm that for me? Because if he was texting, it was defo fake, because nobody under the age of 35 sends text messages. With Virgil van Dijk, where they have to find a Christmas tree, obviously very much aping the announcement photo of Virgil van Dijk all those years ago when he was at home with a Liverpool shirt and the Christmas tree himself. So yeah, lovely little continuation of well, let's just call it a Dutch Liverpool transfer Christmas tradition. Yeah, from now on, that's absolutely fine. So he was asked a few questions. He was interviewed by the official Liverpool website. I'll give you a few quotes from that. They asked, when the news broke on Monday, how crazy did your phone go? It's really crazy. I think everyone I know texted me, so my phone was really, really hot at the time. But I'm really thankful that everyone had some nice words to say, so that's great. Why is Liverpool the right club for you? I think this is a great club for me to come in and try and show what I can do and try and help the team to achieve more beautiful moments than they already did in the past years. I think for me personally, it's also good to develop here, and there's a lot of great players here who I can learn a lot of things from. Yeah, very, very encouraging stuff. We'll get a couple more quotes and what have you in a moment. But really, really, just amazing piece of transfer business from Liverpool, isn't it? No messing around, deciding that they had a target and making that target theirs. And we've seen this time and time again over the last 5, 6, 7 years in the transfer market at Liverpool. Okay, look, there are always going to be criticisms of how Liverpool operates in the transfer market, yes, but when they get a deal done, they don't have to just get a deal done. And I know people might look at like someone like Jude Bellingham as being quite a protracted thing, and we'll have to see what happens with that. I'm sure there'll be plenty more discussion of that in the coming days, weeks, and potentially months. But this era of Liverpool is the best at transfer done, transfer rumoured, transfer signed, transfer completed. Here's a photo of him, now a Liverpool player, and Gakpo's just the latest in the long line of that. And a lot of that goes back to the Virgil van Dijk transfer, which very nearly got scuppered because Liverpool couldn't keep a lid on things, and they've gotten infinitely better at it since then. Now, obviously, the bigger the transfer, the bigger the name player, the more people involved, and the more people in the process, and therefore the more people who can leak it, and therefore the more bits and pieces that kind of get out, that spoils the fun a little bit and puts pressure on the transfer. But for someone like this, particularly who was very, very strongly linked to Manchester United, to the fact that you've got, I'm sure you've all seen it, a number of Manchester United accounts tweeting about, oh yeah, he's coming, and how great he's going to be, and our boy Gakpo, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Craig Tebbs with the super chat says, "Great singing." Yeah, thanks, mate. It's been a good Christmas. Big Verge playing his part. Just need to add Bellingham now if Enzo goes to Chelsea. What an announcement for Gakpo, though. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Steve Trevor saying there, if Paul Joyce says anything, it is confirmed done. Yeah, he does a very, very good job, doesn't he? Paul Joyce of being the man, the go man. When you know that things are like that, he is a economy of motion, economy of words kind of journalist. And also the problem with him is he's not verified on Twitter, so inevitably every time I see a tweet that says him saying something, I have to go on to his account to make sure that it's actually him, because I can never remember if it's like Paul Joyce underscore, or is it underscore Paul Joyce, or is it Paul underscore Joyce? Is there another letter in there? So yeah, it's Paul Joyce absolutely setting our Boxing Day evenings aflame. What were your thoughts? What were your reactions? What were you guys doing at the time? I was very much winding down at my dad's. Me and the kids and my dad and my sister and my wife. We all sat around just playing like a random card game, and again it just started to filter through, and it went from, "Oh, Dad, have you seen it? Looks like Gakpo could be happening," to PSV have tweeted saying that it's that they've sold him. Yeah, very, very good indeed. And yeah, Cameron and Tilly are saying Paul Joyce is better than Fabrizio Romano. Yeah, interesting. Michael McGuinness actually puts a point here. Paul, I'm shocked Gakpo got 18 instead of 10, but I'm not fussed. So shocked, but not fussed. Sad. Yeah, it is interesting. You know, obviously the number 10 is there. I've seen people saying, does that mean it's lined up for someone else? I don't know whether there's a degree to which maybe he doesn't want it. Does anyone know? Does anyone know whether he's got an affinity with the number 18? I've got genuinely no idea on that, but we do have there's some interesting players who've worn the 18 shirt down the years. Obviously, there's a Dutch connection there. Dirk Kuyt wore it in the mid-2000s. Michael Owen wore it as his first major squad number at Liverpool. That's right before he took the number 10. Taki Minamino most recently wore it. Ronnie Rosenthal wore it at the start of the Premier League era. Alberto Moreno wore it as well. Jean-Michel Ferry, famously, the mole himself. So I put a poll out actually asking people who their favourite player to wear it was, and I'm a little upset at how few people voted for Jean-Michel Ferry. I'll get the poll up and I'll see out, because I do want to know from you guys as well, who is your favourite number 18 at Liverpool. There's some pretty obvious and strong contenders in that, and obviously because it was Twitter, I could only put 4 on the poll. Let me just find the tweet for you guys, and I'll make sure we've got the accurate and up-to-date poll on that. So yeah, favourite player to wear the 18 for Liverpool: Dirk Kuyt, John Arisa. There we go, that was the other one. Michael Owen or Jean-Michel Ferry. I'm voting for Jean-Michel Ferry one more time, meaning he has just 4% of the vote. Dirk Kuyt absolutely crushing it on 64.1%. John Arisa on 15.6%. Michael Owen on 16.3%. Wow. The fact that Michael Owen's getting more than John Arisa is incredible. And Jean-Michel Ferry, I'm a little disappointed at how few people actually got the joke, because the obvious one there was to vote for Jean-Michel Ferry, but he's become such a niche legend that I don't think enough people are aware of. Maybe we need to do some sort of feature on Jean-Michel Ferry. I'd be up for that. So yeah, number 18 for Cody Gakpo. And yeah, he's done his interviews and all that good stuff as well. We've got a few more bits and pieces. So yeah, via The Athletic, apparently Jurgen Klopp and his staff are said to be grateful to the owners and Julian Ward for acting decisively with Cody Gakpo. And then there's a few comments here around when he will be available. This is from the Anfield Watch again, and it says it'll be touch and go if he can make his debut away to Brentford on Monday, January the 2nd, because his application for a UK work permit will not be submitted until the Premier League transfer window officially opens on New Year's Day. And they go on to say another complication is that the Dutch transfer window does not start until Tuesday, so Gakpo might need special dispensation to play against Brentford, as per The Athletic. So yeah, very interesting stuff. What we will do, actually, I'm just going to get the Liverpool fixtures up because we can have a little look at what is January could look like while we're doing just that. Do keep your thoughts and comments coming in while we're doing all this. I'll read through some of the best ones in a minute. So yeah, as we've seen already, Leicester, we know Liverpool play tomorrow night, which is before the window opens, so there's zero chance of him being involved in that. It'd be interesting to know whether he's actually allowed to train, because he's not officially signed. So I wonder whether he's gone to the X's, done all his medicals, he's done all his unveiling photos, and then he'll probably go and, I guess, grab his stuff, fly back home, box up his things, and get back over, and maybe get settled in some temporary accommodation or whatever in the coming days. As mentioned there, Monday the 2nd of January is Brentford. That was the first one sort of being floated, but it looks like most realistically will be the Liverpool Wolves FA Cup game on Saturday the 7th of January. Obviously then we're into Brighton away, and then the Chelsea game on the 21st. Just one to mark your calendars. Liverpool versus Manchester United is on the 4th of March. Liverpool, of course, gazumped United for the signing of Cody Gakpo. He will be getting a hostile reception from the travelling Mancunians on that one, and wouldn't it be genuinely delicious if he was able to stick the ball in the back of the net and celebrate wholeheartedly, because I know we would be. So yeah, that is pretty interesting when you think about it. Okay. Let me just get a couple more. Let's see, I've got a couple more quotes for you guys before we wrap things up, and obviously I get to the comments as well. Oh yeah. That's a really interesting quote, actually, from Gakpo. He says, "I try to be a player who goes forward and tries to make dangerous situations for the opponent and create chances, make dribbles and give assists and goals. I hope I can bring that also to the team." What I said, I have to do my best, and hopefully we can get a lot of beautiful moments. He's a big fan of beautiful moments, is Cody Gakpo, and I am too. The thing that I'm really impressed by the way, and I think what's interesting, I think we'll be telling in Liverpool's coming, the rest of Liverpool's transfers in the next, maybe this window, definitely moving into the summer. Klopp used the word power a lot, and he'll have to excuse me because it's been a very hectic Christmas period. It was either post-match Man City or in and around the Villa game. I think it might have been post-match, but he talked about like power. And he talked about like not having a lot of power on, and substituting power and missing out on certain players. Cody Gakpo is power. He's 6'4". He's fast. He's direct. He's got an eye for goal. Darwin Núñez is power. Jude Bellingham is power. Virgil van Dijk, power. Konate, power. And you start to look at like what our transfer policy is. And look, you'd say like someone like Luis Diaz is obviously quite wiry, but he's a very aggressive footballer. Darwin is a very aggressive footballer. And the big concern, and I know Paul Tompkins has done lots of stuff about this, and it's been one of my concerns about Liverpool, is we were creeping towards being a really small technical side, and small technical sides in the Premier League don't tend to be very successful. You need, I've said this often, and this is why I by the way, just as a total tangent, why I think Messi's the best player of all time, or certainly better than Ronaldo, is because to be able to achieve what he's achieved in that frame is astounding, because, football's becoming the land of giants again. We went from a bunch of big grocks in the 70s and 80s, like Ron Yates come in, Colossus walk around him, but you didn't have to be super technically gifted. What happened is we had a movement towards this. Arsene Wenger pioneering a lot of this, Barcelona, tiki-taka, etc., etc. And now what you're getting is from Klopp and Pep Guardiola in Germany, and then moving over to the Premier League, is you're getting that technical gifted stuff, but you're putting it in 6-footers. And if you can put all the technical and pace into 6-footers, then you're going to beat, more often than not, people in smaller, slower bodies. It's just the kind of way it is, and that's really important, I think, for Liverpool. And the midfield situation is we're very much crying out for some more aggression in the middle of the park, and it'd be interesting to see whether that's something that gets added. But that's what I like about Gakpo. 6'4", and maybe that's too big to be a wide man. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be part and parcel of what Liverpool do in the coming years. Maybe we're going to start to play him. Maybe we will groom him to play centrally, or maybe what you'll find is between him and Núñez, you got guys who can play central and can play wide, and then you've got a lot more of a fluid attack. But at any given point, someone can whip a cross in, bang, and it's a bit of a simplification. It's all about just, you're tall, therefore you score headers. But again, just being a bit more of a physical presence is not going to make Liverpool easier to beat, and it's certainly going to make it easier for us to win games of footy. So yeah, very, very, very encouraging stuff, to say the very least, indeed. Let me get through a couple of comments. Michael McGuinness saying, Paul, the 4th of March is the day after my 26th birthday, so that would be a great win. Paul Smith, unpopular opinion incoming, Bellingham is not coming to us. Unfortunately, he's probably going to Madrid or City. I disagree. I think he will play for us, to be honest. But yeah, a lot of people are backing up the Dirk Kuyt shout. Dirk Kuyt shout, oh my God, the Dirk Kuyt shout. Fucking hell. Sorry, Dirk, I love you, I genuinely do. Yeah, some love for Minamino. Yeah, brilliant. Right, yeah, number 10 being reserved for Jude Bellingham. I hope that I don't know what else is going to happen with Naby Keita, but I'm happy for the for it to be for the 8 to be reserved for Jude. If I'm being perfectly honest, that would be absolutely splendid if we could do that. Fucking hell, I'm not sure I can recover from that. Right, sound. Youngish prank, thoughts on Mudryk rumoured to Arsenal? Well, yeah, Arsenal needs attacking players. Let them have them. I think that's us kind of done. I'm genuinely shocked that Liverpool have done this deal. Really, really, truly am. Because it was a week or so ago, and we were going, well, look, we've got like Firmino, Salah, and Nunes as our fit senior attacking options, and we need to reboot our season. There's a lot of games incoming. No, we won't have Jota and Diaz back till probably March, and certainly fully fit in the case of Jota. That's a real worry, real worry. And then, of course, Firmino gets injured immediately after that. So Liverpool aren't messing around. They've decided. I think they put the money into the attack in the summer, or last January and the summer. I don't think the aim was to add another one. But they've realised, and they've looked at it and gone, well, look, if the club's up for sale, they need to maintain the club value, and Liverpool need to be competitive and need to get into the Champions League. They need to, keep the project going. They need to keep Jurgen Klopp happy, because he's part and parcel of all those things. So don't, and we've often been accused of not capitalising on a situation. Well, this is great because we were in real danger. Jesus wept. I've fallen off a cliff. If we didn't get things sorted. So I'm so pleased they just got on boxes. I don't know if Gakpo's good enough to be a regular first team player. He's young enough that he can be moulded, certainly. His underlying numbers in a very, very top line sense in the Eredivisie are very, very encouraging so far. He could be a flop, he could be a hit, he could be somewhere in between. He could just be a player. But Liverpool just need players at the moment who fit the profile, who come in and do a job in the short term, and hopefully medium and long term get even better for us. So yeah, really decisive work on the transfer market, very encouraging. Hopefully there's another one to come in midfield. Let's see, Gibson Fender with the 449 super chat says, what are the chances of Bellingham signing for us and not Real or City on a scale of 1 to 10, and why? Honestly, mate, I don't know. And look, me saying it's going to happen or not going to happen has zero impact on it happening one way or the other, to be perfectly honest. I just have a good feeling about it, and I know there'll be lots of people going, well, I've got a bad feeling about it. It's a glass half full, glass half empty mentality, which I've been waiting to use this analogy since last night. I've been reading the Christmasaurus with my daughter, and there's an analogy with his son, and the dad says, look at this cup, what is it? And the son says it's half empty because he's feeling a bit down about things, and the dad says, well, I see it as half full. And ultimately, it's exactly the same thing. It's just that one way of looking at it means one of us is happy and the other one isn't. So, look, we can choose to think it's not going to happen and be worried about it. If it doesn't happen, it won't happen. Liverpool will go on. Eventually they'll sign some other players to be our absolute heroes, because that's always what happens. The club has never hinged particularly on an individual transfer, particularly one that never happened. It hinges on the ones that do happen, because they're the lads that pull on the shirt. They're the lads who go out there and play for us and make the goals and score the goals and give us the highlight moments. The ones who don't, well, who's asked? You know what I mean? They'll go on and have their paths were never meant to truly cross with ours. So I feel reasonably confident, because I think all the noise around it speaks to he kind of wants to play for Liverpool. I think he wants to play for Klopp. I think his family want him to play for us. Will they be able to get off the line? I don't know. Does this signing have an impact on it? I don't think it does. I think Liverpool have got the dough to go and spend, unless someone comes and does something stupid. And if someone comes and does something, if someone comes and throws 200 million at Borussia Dortmund and offers him a 500,000 a week, and he takes that, well, case sera, I guess. But I just genuinely feel like it's likely. The same reason I thought Gakpo was likely. I talked about him on my channel the other day. That was the one I chose to talk about: Mason Mount, Gakpo, and Fabio Carvalho. As it turns out, I won 225 quid on Gakpo to Liverpool because I had a rumour the day before and I was half pissed and thought, go on, I'll have a little punt on that, because I thought it felt like there was a bit of substance to it. There's not, the odds on Bellingham aren't really worth doing that at this point, but I feel reasonably confident. Eaton Strawn, says, does this signing mean Bobby leaves, and is he really a forward or more of a 10? Look, actually, really interesting. I'm going to play this out in a second on a clip from our expert insight that gives a bit more insight into Gakpo and what have you. But there's also rumours that Bobby's going to sign a new contract, and I think Liverpool should. I would let Roberto Firmino retire at Liverpool. It was up to me, because he's never going to get slower. He will become less readily available, but as long as you're buying other players and you're strong and can play games, Bobby Firmino is magic. And I'd rather have 15 games a season of Roberto Firmino magic than none. But I would look at it and say that when everyone's fit, Salah, Nunez, Diaz, Gakpo, Jota feels like a good selection of forwards. You throw Carvalho into the mix. That's one to watch. My immediate reaction when I saw the transfer was, that's probably saying Firmino is going to go, and you're just future-proofing yourself from not having to replace him next summer, and you're giving yourself an extra body when you really need it now. But yeah, interesting stuff indeed. Right, yes, I mentioned we've done a couple of amazing expert insights. So if you want to know what is going on with basically Cody Gakpo, who is he, what does he do, how is he going to fit in at Liverpool, then make sure you come. I'd love it to be on the front page of the website. There are a bunch of great Cody Gakpo shows and what have you that are available on those. So we did the lads did a Redmen React show on Tuesday about it, and the two expert insights in there as well. So videos and podcasts. I'm going to be talking to Neil Jones at 11 o'clock. That's 45 minutes away. Christ. Come over to redmenplus.com. Sign up. Look, I'll be honest, it's £5 a month, and I think it's incredible value for money. You're going to get videos, you're going to get podcasts, you're going to get extra Redmen TV shows, you get documentaries, you get features, you get interviews with Liverpool legends, past and present. We've got 2 Boss News series. At the moment, we have got My Liverpool Debut, which is a mini documentary series looking at lads who made their debut for Liverpool and what that was like, from a variety of, on the full spectrum of absolute nailed-on club legends to guys who only played 10 or 20 appearances. We've also got Liverpool Dream Teams. Jay Spearing, get well soon, by the way, Jay. He picked his Liverpool dream team. We've had a bunch of them. We've got a bunch of other ones coming up. We've got Mark Wright, former Liverpool centre-half. Going to put goalkeeper coach John Achterberg coming up in that as well. But the two expert insights, get knowledgeable about Cody Gakpo, and then come and join me for Journo Insight over in there. I'll play it out on the clip. Have a boss day, and I hope to see you in 45 minutes over on redmenplus.com for Journo Insight with Neil Jones. All the best.
I want to move on to his role now and how you sort of see him fitting in at Liverpool. You spoke about him not being a striker, really. He said he wasn't ready to play as a striker. Now, like I said earlier, a lot of people are saying that Firmino might move on the end of the season. That could be his role, sort of in the middle of a three. But you said that he's much better when he's running into the box rather than staying inside the box. So just talk us through what you mean by that, what you've seen that makes you think that.
So this, and the good thing about talking about the striker conversation is that we've already, in the last few minutes, we've already talked about the things that are missing in his game for him to be a striker. He'd need to develop the main reason I don't see him as a striker is that he's a player who thinks about the ball rather than space. So he prefers to get the ball to feet instead of making the run. And to be a striker, he needs to make the run more frequently. He needs, again, to be more consistent about his off-ball game. If he can improve that, if he can maybe bulk up a bit and have a bit more physical presence, or to be more precise, have a physical presence that matches his height, and if he can use that, and when he improves that physical presence, he also improves his game when he's back to goal. then we could be talking about Cody Gakpo being more of a striker. But I see that as kind of a long-term thing that will happen, that if it happens, it will happen over several years. I think a good example of it is Memphis Depay, who started at Manchester United as more of a winger type. Then over 3-4 years, he ended up at Lyon playing more as a striker. He developed, he bulked up, he got better at riding contact from defenders, and he started being really good with his back to goal. That's an evolution that I could see Gakpo going through, but yes, it's more of a 2-3 year kind of thing. That's something that will happen overnight. Right now, he just doesn't have that. Like right now, the Cody Gakpo package doesn't include that at the moment.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching the show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a like on the way out. Did you know you could get some hoodies, t-shirts and any accessories from redmenmerch.com? So head on over there now and grab yourself something.